Welcome to After the Call, the podcast dedicated to the stories and struggles behind the badge, the turnout gear, and the uniform. Each week, we'll bring you a powerful conversations with first responders, mental health professionals, and advocates who are breaking the stigma, sharing their journeys, and offering real solutions. We'll talk about PTSD resilience, family impact, and the resources that can make a difference. Because the job doesn't just leave scars on the body, it affects the mind, the heart, and the people who serve alongside us. And no one should have to carry that burden alone. This is After the Call, where you'll find strength through resilience.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of After the Call. I'm your host, Patrick. My co-host, Tori.
It's supposed to be Veronica.
Yeah, she had to run, which is not a big deal. And we're here with Marcos, right?
Yes.
With obviously, I've known Marcos for a few years, working on the department, but also you've done some amazing stuff after the job, doing your own personal life and all that stuff with Midwestern Meats. And we'll kind of go we'll go into obviously what brought you into our realm with that in just a minute. But
yeah, of course.
If you want to give a little background of stuff with the department,
yeah,
what you did.
Absolutely. So I'd worked for Mesa PD I was full-time over there for a little over 6 years. Prior to that, I worked for Maricopa County Sheriff's Office as a detention officer for about 2 years. And then all in that time, I was in the Army Reserves for about 8.5 years. But, being with Mesa was awesome. My favorite time of my life probably was being with Mesa. Super cool times with that. And then I left the department, I believe it was in 2023. In 2023, to pursue owning my own business. My wife and I had purchased a business. It was an existing business that already had been around for about 33 years at that time in the Valley. And we purchased that, and I stayed on as a reserve officer with Mesa. I just, I loved it so much, wanted to do it for free. Yep. So, still doing that and enjoying that. But, yeah, that's about it.
How was the transition with the idea of like owning your own business and leaving, what you were doing for 6 years?
It was kind of scary. I'm not going to lie, because my whole life I knew I wanted to be a police officer. I knew I wanted to be in the military. And I was kind of living my dream, like my childhood dream. I saw a movie when I was a kid. I saw SWAT with Colin Farrell. That's my favorite movie ever. And I was like, I'm going to do that one day. And, I was there and, had all the opportunity to do that and continue to do that. I never made SWAT, though I wish I did. But I could have kept pursuing it and maybe one day have gotten it. But, my whole life was like very like stable. You know how it is with the military and, the police force is like paramilitary organization. So you get a lot of structure, you get a lot of that chain of command, a lot of, hey, do this, be here, right place, right time, right uniform type deal. And there's a lot of like, certainty in there, a lot of, security there, obviously, a steady paycheck, good benefits. So for me, it was like, man, I'm going to go from, having this, I'm on 4 days, I'm off 3, steady paycheck, good benefits, to now going in my own business here. And although it was a steady business, had its own clientele already from day one, it's still really scary to take on all that and not being in that. I was never in the meat background prior to that. So to learn all of it and then do it is very risky, scary times. But like they say, it's never you don't get to go somewhere without doing something new and scary.
Sure. So. No, I think that's true in a lot of things that we do in our fields and just in life in general. If you're not taking risks, like what's the point, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to make it out of life alive, so might as well.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Might as well do something cool or fun.
That's true. So going back a little bit, you talked about being detention and stuff like that with Maricopa County.
Yeah.
What brought you to wanting to go to law enforcement from that?
Man, just that was the whole dream was to be a cop.
So that was the goal.
That was the whole goal the whole time. But I think I had got on with Maricopa County when I was 19, and the whole thing was you can't be a police officer in Arizona until you're 21. Mm-hmm. There was opportunity for me to go to, like, I was looking into being a Pittsburgh officer, because at that point, and I don't know if it still is, but at that point it was like, oh, you could be an officer at 18. And I was like, I don't know.
That's wild.
That's crazy. It was too young. And I was like, man, that's insane. I don't want to do that. I want to get a little bit of experience. So then the opportunity came where someone was like, hey, maybe you should apply for this job. It was a buddy of mine, and he's actually on Mesa right now. Him and I were both looking at that job application, and then we both signed up, and then we both got in and got to go to the Detention Academy together. So it was a really good time. I enjoyed doing that a lot. I think it really helped with speaking to people on the streets and in all kinds of different scenarios. Like you have just pepper spray and taser on you in the jail. So you don't have much help either, because your backup officer is like a 60-year-old guy, like across the building, down maybe a couple floors. Like it was pretty fun. But I really enjoyed that job. I thought it was great. And then when the opportunity came, I turned 21, and it was like, all right, let's go join Mesa.
Which jail were you working at?
I was working at 4th Avenue, max security over there. And then they had what's called closed custody, which is like a little bit higher than max security. But that's where I was at for a very long time. I think about a year and a half I was over there. I'd wanted to switch like shifts. I wanted to try something new. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to go to this jail. They're going to offer me like day shift hours because I was working swing shift. And I was like, they're offering me day shift hours. I was coaching my little brother's baseball team at the time. So I was like, oh, it'll be great. I could get off at time and go to the games, all that stuff. And then they were like, oh, hey, sorry, that day shift spot's been filled by somebody else who had a little more seniority. So you're actually going to go to Graves over here. And so that was crappy, but it worked out good because right there was when Mesa accepted my application. So I was kind of like, all right, I'm just going to coast it out here. And it was a cool thing because I was like, all right, well, this is like a super safe jail because it's minimum security.
So I don't know how those guys do that with there's like 160 dudes in a pod and like crazy.
Yeah, that was the crazy thing was coming from because the 4th Ave was maximum security, so there was a lot of good like, hey, you have to be tactical about things, you have to be smart about things, and it really was. It was like, I think maybe it was like 100 people, and then there was 2 detention officers assigned to that floor. There was 100 people in one pod and then 100 people in the other pod, and just 2 officers are assigned to that pod. And then I go to the minimum security, and I still had like that, hey, we have to, control these guys. We have to do this, that, and the other. Be a little like, tough on them. And it was like, I'm here for shoplifting, trespassing, and
like, I don't care.
Yeah, no, seriously. And it was like, oh, you're one officer. You have to like take these 60 guys to court right now. And it was because at that point I was like, man, I'm by myself here. This is crazy. So then I felt a little like, man, these guys could turn on me right now, and it's done.
4th Avenue, that place was a trip because we used to have to go do video court over there. Oh, so we did it out of the old Madison, right? Yeah. The whole tunnel, like, dude, it's wild.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
Going through that tunnel is like really like, to me, I was like, man, this is wild doing all this stuff, and I don't know, it was a cool time. I really enjoyed my time over there and learned a lot. So a lot of good people out there.
That's awesome. So what year did you join Mesa?
I joined Mesa 2018.
What class?
Class 41.
Nice.
Class 41.
That's crazy.
What class are they on right now? Do you know?
I think they're like in their 60s.
Man, that's insane.
It's a lot.
That's insane. But super cool. I think they're running one academy a year when I went in, and then shortly after they were like, let's bump those numbers up.
Yeah.
And now they've been they're pumping them out, man.
It's good. I mean, it's needed.
It is good.
There's always a shortage.
It is good.
I don't even know if they've ever finally hit the numbers that they were looking for.
Oh, for like staffing and all that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it ever will be met. It's a very, especially now. You open up the new station and growing city. A lot of demands. So
you're still doing the reserve thing right now?
Yes.
Do you get to pick like where you're doing your thing? Or
that's the really nice thing about it is, so long as I just do my trainings and my, certs and everything like that, and I'm in good standing, the really cool thing is I could just hit up a supervisor that I may know and be like, hey, whether it's patrol area or like a specialty unit, I can talk to a supervisor, get their permission. And obviously, they want to just let anybody, like they kind of like know you or have that trust with you. Like, okay, you're not going to be a knucklehead out here. So I'll hit up, whatever supervisor that I'm close with. And, there have been times where I've done patrol, like swing shift ride-alongs, patrol day shift ride-alongs. I like riding with the community action officers. Those guys are a good time, and and the guys that I like to roll with, they're a little active. They like to go help out with what's the really good calls, so it's kind of a good thing over there with those guys. And then, even if I wanted to, like, hey, does, the firing range, the gun range, you guys need any help out here? I could do stuff like that. There was even talks where I was talking about maybe becoming a firearms instructor, just because I really enjoy it. I was good at it. And, using my volunteer time there to help out whenever they're short-staffed on the range.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, the reserve program, a lot of people don't realize how crucial it is. I mean, you're adding a body to the street that's not part of any numbers, and you can help out where you want to. And, sometimes it's like you can get in with these good units and really do some good work.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good stuff too that goes to it. Yeah, no, exactly. It's free on the city, which is cool. I like it because I always tell people too, like, hey, my business, use it. If you need it, if you need any kind of, you need a vehicle, you need a place to have a meeting, you need anything like that, so just an extra connection. And then now that I'm in the business world, I extend other resources to if the police department may happen to need it. So
no, I think that's great, and that's obviously a good segue on how we got in contact with you.
No,
so do you want to talk about how Zach did all this?
Zach is crazy, in the best way possible. Like, he's super social, and when he found out about Afterwatch, like, I guess starting, he was like, I want to get you guys all this stuff. I want to get all these resources, like, hooked up. And you were one of the first people. He was like, we need to hit up Marcos.
That's cool.
He just, like, loves, and I'm not sure if he knows, like, your journey into, like, Midwestern Meats or anything, but, like, he's just super supportive of, like, any officer that's going to go off.
He's a good guy. Zach's a good dude, and, I've always enjoyed being around him. So, the moment he hit me up, I was like, yeah, let's definitely do it.
And that was, like, one of the things that we were talking about is, like, you were immediately like, absolutely, like, whatever you need, like, we're super happy to help. And, like, I think that's, like, the coolest thing ever.
No, I thank you so much. But, if it wasn't for organizations like yours over here, then, that wouldn't even be on my mind, right. Like, I'm so busy in the everyday grind doing stuff, but I always want to help out wherever I can. And you guys brought up a great point where it's like, hey, we could maybe alleviate some stress off somebody or help them out during this trying times. And absolutely, totally down for it. So thank you guys for existing.
When Zach told me, like, that you agreed to it, like, immediately, I thought that was huge. And the other thing I want to point out is the level that you took it to in regards to what you're offering per meal. If you want to explain that a little bit, because that's a big deal.
Absolutely. So every year for Thanksgiving, Christmas, we offer we sell these meals. They're like they feed 4 to 5 people is like the half meal, and then like 8 to 10 is like the full meal. And there's 3 options that are with them. There's the ham option, turkey option, and like the prime rib option. Obviously the prime rib option being the most expensive, ham being, I believe, the cheapest, if not the same as turkey. But essentially it's already a fully cooked, ham or turkey, all sliced up, portioned already. Comes with sides, your standard sides. I think it has like green beans, like some kind of green bean medley, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing. If you get the turkey option, it'll come with cranberry sauce. But these are just meals for a lot of people. A lot of our customers are older folks that maybe, not have, the closest relationship with their families, or they just have a small thing going on, or, maybe they can't travel to their families, whatever it may be. A lot of people get these meals, which is really cool. We enjoy doing that. But for you guys, we were like, hey, yeah, let's definitely get together. Let's do this. We'll have all the fixings. Everything is ready. It comes with cooking instructions. So you just got to pop it in the oven or heat it up on the stove top, whatever. It comes with specific cooking instructions for the kind of proteins and stuff that you're getting. But we were like, yeah, let's definitely do it for you guys. As big of as a couple of big meals, few big meals, whatever you guys need or want, we're happy to do it. We'll do turkey and ham combination so that they have, that spread of both the proteins in there. And just you guys find out whoever needs them, and we're happy to provide that.
I think that's awesome. So kind of to if you haven't already been paying attention, this is going to our Seasons of Giving and our Santa, or our Operation Santa Watch. And what Marcos is doing is he's offering these meals to the first responders that are being nominated for these programs, so they can get these meals, whether they're injured, financially strapped, God knows whatever the situation is, you're willing to step in and do that for us, which I think is huge.
Thank you.
I mean, hats off. That's just phenomenal. I mean, I know you have business to run. This is coming out of your guys' income to your family. And the fact that you're willing to do this for first responders is huge.
No, absolutely. I mean, first responders of all walks. There's so many different people in the first responder family and community. It's very hard to be a first responder.
Sure.
And I think that even if I was never a first responder myself, that I would totally have the utmost respect and, love for first responders for everything they do, out there. It's a 24/7 thing, schools shut down and, businesses shut down. A lot of places shut down, policing and, being a firefighter, running an ambulance, anything that you're doing out there as a first responder, it's 24/7.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. It's not like
never stops.
Office hours shut down. Yeah, that's right.
Like Waffle House, never stops.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. I think that's great. I appreciate it. And what can we do to help support your business as well? Because obviously you're helping us.
We just love the word of mouth. We don't do a whole lot of marketing for my business. We never have over those, 33 years. The original family that we purchased it from, it was family owned then. It's family owned now. They've never done much marketing. The only thing we've ever done is just word of mouth. Whoever needs something, we always have all kinds of different cuts of meat, different animals. So if anyone's looking for just high quality stuff, we've got it covered. We have a full-time chef that works at our facility. So we offer like meal prep services, already like fully cooked meals for people that, maybe are like, I don't have the time. I'm strapped on this time. I would pay for that service. We offer that service. One of the other things is just getting our name out there, getting the word out that we're still around and doing things. When we first purchased the business, we looked at all the financials of it. It was a 3-tier business. It was a meat market, a bakery, and a restaurant. The bakery and the restaurant were cool, but they just lost a bunch of money. We were looking at all the financials, and the meat market had been carrying them for years, ever since COVID. Supply chain, they really messed up things over there. Like the cost of goods on a bunch of restaurant and bakery supplies went sky high. And then, hours were cut. It was just a whole mess. And when I first was learning all the meat business, I was like, man, meat's the money maker over here. All these other things are not, but they're taking a lot of my time. And they're not making any profit. Even if we broke even, I was like, we'll keep them around if we could break even, but we were just losing money. So that was we had to shut them down. So we shut those down, but now it's like, all right, now we're going to be doing new stuff. So right now, I think probably within the next week, we should be opening and being able to accept animals for our wild game processing. So, hunters could come in, drop off their animals. We could skin them, clean them for them. Or if they want to bring it in boned out meat or quartered meat or whatever, then we could definitely take care of that as well. We could do the standard, we'll just grind your stuff or cut a couple roasts, whatever you want. But we also have a lot of great sausage recipes over our years of being in business and making cool new sausages and stuff.
That's awesome.
That is really cool. People are looking for that out here too.
Yeah. It's not a very popular business out here. Like there's only one place that really does it, and they're in Santan Valley, Queen Creek border, Miller Southwest. Which shout out to those guys. They're great. They've been doing it for many years. They offer a lot of wonderful services for hunters. Those guys put semi trucks out on on the rim during hunting season, cooled trailers, so that people can just drop their meat off straight up to them.
That's
and then
wild.
It's really a cool thing, special thing they got going on. But as great as they are, and as long as they've been around, there are people that are like, I'd rather have more of because there have been times where they're turning people away, or some people have whatever complaints they may have about that. So I was kind of listening to a lot of my customers tell me hey, this is going wrong over there. Maybe you could do something over here. I think that I would bring my business to you. So we're excited to launch that hopefully within this next week, to be able to accept those animals, and we could do smoke some stuff too, like meat sticks. But yeah, so that's just it. We also offer a 10% discount to all military veterans and first responders. If you just show an ID at the shop, you get a 10% off on all your orders with us. So that stands firm 24, not 24/7. We're not open 24/7, but every day of the year that we are open and in business, you could get that discount with us. And I'm working on trying to get that online with our online website too. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of tough. I'm like our IT guy, and I'm not very good at IT, so still trying to figure that out. We offer home delivery as well. Sweet. And we're actually going to be launching, I think, also this week too. It's a big week for us. We're on you guys' podcast. Yeah. We're doing a lot of cool, fun stuff. But we're also launching a new home delivery route where we used to charge like $8 for home delivery. But, talking to a lot of the customers and a lot of people, everybody values kind of like that free delivery or some kind of value where it's like, hey, I want that. So we're offering free delivery to certain areas. So like, city of Mesa, you live in Mesa, your address ends in Mesa, you get free delivery Monday through Friday. As long the minimum order is going to be like $50 order.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you get free delivery to your door. If you live like, we don't have everything set up yet exactly, but it's like, we're thinking like, hey, Tuesday, you live in Chandler, Tuesdays, you get free delivery. So you place your order anytime before Tuesday, and we make it, we're sending it out to you on Tuesday for free. So we're going to be doing stuff like that throughout the valley, Gilbert, AJ, Gold Canyon, Queen Creek, Tempe, Scottsdale. We're going to be doing like free delivery to those guys. So just getting the word out and stuff like that. The 10% discount, we're so happy to give that to any military veterans and first responders. Just letting people know. That's it.
That is so cool.
She'll handle that.
Yeah.
She'll handle all the marketing stuff for us. So, all right. So I got to know, what's your favorite cut of meat?
Man, my favorite cut of meat is when it comes down to steak, I love beef, I love steak, I love a good ribeye. But when we get really specific with the ribeye, there is a steak on the ribeye called the ribeye cap.
Okay.
You only get so many ribeye caps per ribeye loin. But the ribeye cap it's called the spinalis. You cut it off just right. It is extremely tender. It's like filet mignon tender, but it's juicy, fatty, flavorful, like a ribeye, like the best part of a ribeye. So it's like it encompasses all the great things of it: tenderness, flavor. It's amazing. So ribeye cap is definitely my favorite, but it's one of those. It's very pricey, and it's like we don't have it very often because it would just sell out so quick. But, but we do offer it sometimes. So
all right. So that being your favorite cut of meat, what's your favorite cook of meat?
What do you mean?
Like rare, medium rare,
blue
definitely, rare.
Definitely. We might have to end this soon, depending on your answer.
Oh man, I'm scared to answer now. But yeah. I'm definitely a medium rare. Definitely medium rare all the time.
We're done.
Oh, you like leather?
I need blue rare.
Oh wow, he's trying to get worse.
When it comes to like a fillet or whatever, blue rare, like that's the that's the best.
Are you like a tartare person or whatever?
Yeah. So and that's me growing up in like Germany and stuff like that. You would eat raw meat.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that do come to our shop and get tartare. It's just the staple for them over there.
Yeah, it's good.
And
your gut is okay.
It's phenomenal.
Okay.
We'll just say,
man,
if you haven't tried it, try it.
I never judge really. Like I'm like, okay, get your steak however you like, do whatever. I've tried the blue steaks before, and I'm like, man, this is great, and I could eat it, but I'm like, I wish it was a little warmer.
Yeah.
And so for me, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't judge either, but if you eat leather, like I'm going to judge.
See, leather to me is like well done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, leather to me is just like medium.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want it like pretty. Is it still mooing? Am I picking hair out of my teeth?
So why not go with the rare?
I do.
Oh, okay. Then why are you judging me?
Oh, I'm not. I was just shocked.
Like,
I'm not judging. Like I said,
I don't know if we're friends anymore. Like, this is crazy.
I was just concerned about your gut.
No. It's cooked enough just to kill whatever bacteria, and then the rest is just butter.
Man,
sounds incredible.
That is cool. No, there's a lot of great stuff when it comes to steaks and beef. Knowing all the different cuts, what's like, hey, you could grill this, you cannot grill this, you have to slow cook it. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff. I've come to appreciate a lot of the different parts of beef.
That's crazy. Yeah, there's some cool there was a cool. You ever see the show where they have to like make the knives and stuff like that?
Zach watches that.
I forget what it's called, but
I think it's like forging stuff, right?
Yeah. Iron Forge or whatever.
Yeah.
So they have a similar show, but it's all butchery stuff.
No way.
So they give them like a whole task of like, you have to butcher this animal, and it could be anything from like an alligator to an elk, whatever. And they have to get these certain cuts. And if they don't cut it right, then it doesn't meet the parameters of what it is. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Oh man, I got to check out that show. That sounds cool.
They did like one season of it, but it was pretty awesome.
That's cool.
And they do all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah, there's so much like, you know, as we've been diving into the wild game stuff, like learning about different animals and different parts, like this part of the deer does not have any bone connecting it here, but you could just, you know, slice right through it. It's pretty cool. Wow. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Did you ever think you'd be doing this? Like, where you're like, I'm a career police officer, and now you look back and you're like, so this part of the deer doesn't have any bone in it. Like, did you ever see yourself here?
I kind of did a little bit, to be honest with you.
Really?
I didn't know I'd be right here and doing what I'm currently doing, but I kind of had like an idea that maybe one day, and this was the funny thing, I'd always tell my wife, like, you know, if anything ever happened to me on the job, right, where, you know, there was a split second decision, you know, I wasn't, you know, whatever, like I get in trouble, I don't get in trouble, or just something, I just got to leave, I can't do the job anymore, whatever it may be. I always said, if that happens to me, I want to work at Costco as a butcher back there, because I always would walk by them and they just always look so happy, they're having a good time. Nobody's like yelling at them. They're just, you know, kind of in their own world doing their thing. And I was like, man, I really want that. Because I always enjoyed food. I always enjoyed cooking food and eating food, obviously, you know. But I always enjoyed food and meat. And I was like, man, that looks fun. You know, if anything ever happened to me, or if I had to leave the job, I would be doing that. And so it's kind of funny to like, you know, wake up and like, man, I own a butcher
there's
shop.
such an art to it. Like, it's not just like, I'll take this knife and do it. Like, there's specific knives for certain cuts, for certain this, like, it's wild.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. And so learning all that, you know, that was my first, like, you know, 3 months of owning the business was learning from the cutters that work for me, and everybody, like, you know, started off with, you know, pork, and then went to chicken, and then went to beef, and so kind of learned all the different stuff over there. So it was cool. It was cool to learn from those guys.
That's cool.
It was really cool.
So definitely support businesses like Midwestern Meats that are going above and beyond for first responders. And I just, again, I can't even thank you enough. I mean, that's phenomenal work.
No.
So I appreciate it. And yeah, whatever we can do to keep pushing the word, just let us know.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And
thank
you for the kind words.
And if are you good with us adding your stuff to our page?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, feel free. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally do all that. And, you know, thank you guys for the opportunity, and thanks for inviting me out.
I might have already added him to the page.
To talk. And
trying to make it official. I know.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys very much.
No, I appreciate you coming out. It's always a pleasure, man.
Thank you, man.
Cool.